Good evening, campers, dreamers, and babysitters. And yes, just a quick little news story for you. Honestly, completely blindsided me. I know it's been all quiet on the Scream front for a little while now. Just a lot of rumors, a lot of things circulating the core four. But yeah, it looks like we've got some movement, ladies and gentlemen. And in the final hour, not really, but Neve Campbell posted on Instagram today that she is returning to do an untitled Scream 7 project. But not just that. No, no, no. She's coming back with Kevin Williamson, of all people, in the director's chair. Luke, how are you feeling about this? You were the one who sent me this news. So I was completely, I thought you were pulling my leg. I thought it was fake, honest
Yeah,
to
yeah.
God.
Dylan thinks I'm a liar. Unbelievable. But anyway, I digress. Getting into this, we talked about it when Neve Campbell was initially out, is that she was going to be back in at some point. We had talked about it. It was going to probably be an epic reconciliation of, coming back in the Scream franchise. And it was going to, everyone's going to be excited about it. Now, did we think it was going to be this soon? I mean, not really, but then we had been hearing news that maybe they were putting feelers out there, maybe Patrick Dempsey as well, see if maybe we could get some of the old cast to return. So, I wasn't expecting any Scream news, but it doesn't necessarily surprise me that Neve Campbell is returning. I think we both expected that at some point, but Kevin Williamson in the director chair. Again, not something that I'm necessarily excited for. He's more so known for his writing. I think the jury's out on that. I know he did Teaching Mrs. Tingle, which I gave a passive watch years ago. And again, wasn't anything that wowed me from a director standpoint or anything like that. So, for me, this isn't necessarily exciting news. It was just something that is coming a little sooner than I expected.
Yeah, I would say I'm 50-50 on it. I'm more shocked than I think I am excited at this moment in time because really this is all the information that we have. There is no like plot synopsis. We don't necessarily know the direction of where the story is going. I know a lot of the speculation has been towards dealing with Sidney and her family. I think that's still a pretty strong idea in the sense of, I love the artwork that Creepy Duck created with like the cabin and the snow and the forest. Like we got to keep setting our slasher villains in the snow. But this was, I think the biggest thing that surprised me out of all of this was just Kevin Williamson in the director's chair, because considering Teaching Miss Tingle was his only directorial credit, it's kind of surprising. And I feel like, if anything, this does signal to me that Spyglass is kind of, well, they're kind of seeing the error of their ways a little bit, but in the sense of, I think we've really divided the fan base here, and we need to kind of, throw some lines out there and really win people back. So if you attach not only, Neve Campbell, obviously people want her back, but if you attach Kevin Williamson, who's a real familiar name, who's been an executive producer, I believe, on the last two, but he didn't have anything to do with writing, but now that you're putting him in the director's chair, it seems a bit more, I guess, formal in a sense, I guess is what I'm trying to say. It seems a bit more like, okay, hey, look, guys, see, we're still nice. We're doing nice things for you. So I don't necessarily know what the pitch was or how this came about, but I'm very curious to hopefully find out one day how this of all things happened.
Yeah, and you really did divide the fan base a few months ago with all these changes, and Marissa, is it Marissa Rivera?
Yeah.
Barrera?
Mhm.
Uh, you know, uh, Out and then kind of changing the cast and not really knowing where it's going to be going. I think you look at when you're talking Scream and you start mentioning Neve Campbell, you start mentioning Kevin Williamson. It's your comfort blanket. It's something that we're going to go back to. What do we do when the new cast is out? Let's start playing the greatest hits. So, I think that's the thing is, what can we do to garner intrigue here? And I think that's honestly, those are the pieces of the puzzle that they wanted to put in place to get people talking, to say, oh, Kevin Williamson is directing. But, I don't necessarily know if we're going to get anything unique here. I think now it's time for the Scream franchise to step outside of the box. We both haven't been overly pleased with the last two installments. I think, honestly, I would have been more excited with some more, with fresh blood coming in here, someone who's not necessarily attached to the franchise and kind of seeing their perspective on things. So, necessarily bringing back a lot of old names to the Scream franchise doesn't really get me overly excited, but I'm intrigued to see what they're going to do.
Yeah, and I mean, considering this was something that Kevin Williamson was one of the first people to help shepherd this in with the first film. Obviously, he kind of wrote that treatment for the trilogy, and things changed, and stories shifted over the years on exactly how that came about. But I would be curious to see what he will do in the director's chair with this. I think that, if anything, it would be kind of a nice swan song, especially if they're going to continue after 6 and kind of continue the story. I know you've been very much, I don't know if it's like a joke or not because it's been through text, but you've been very much on the let's do a soft reboot, get rid of 5 and 6 and let's bring Dewey back and kind of pick it up from there. I'm actually not opposed to that, just because I think that with all the drama and with everything that happened, and not being the biggest fan of 5 and 6, that I'm kind of like, I would be fine with it. But yeah, really, I don't know where this is going to go. And I'm really curious to hear what you guys think is going to happen with this, because I think that anything's on the table. Like you, I would have also liked to see some fresh blood return to this. Obviously, we're getting a werewolf film from Christopher Landon, so I can't complain too much that he's not attached to it. But it would have been interesting to see somebody of note, maybe one of these up and comers from something indie we covered recently, stepping in and kind of giving their own little spin to this. But I don't know. I guess we'll just have to wait and see. It seems like, with the script and everything rolling, it's not going to take too long to get the ball going. So we could be looking at seeing this maybe, late 2025, early 2026. I don't know.
Time will tell. I think, once the wheels start turning, they're really going to get into it, trying to capitalize on, this being such a big name in the horror spectrum. So, I really don't know what to expect. Seeing the same names under written by is something that it's like, I'm not necessarily excited by it. So it's I don't know what it's going to lead to. I'm hoping for a different vibe than what we've seen in the Scream franchise. Maybe we focus on some older characters. I don't, the creative reset, as we deem it now, was just a little bit of a joke for me. I don't know necessarily if that's the route you go, but, if it's going to get Dewey back, I say, hey, let's go for it. But, it could lead to some interesting things. Do I think they're going to go that route? No, I think they've made their bed. They're probably going to lie in it. But I would love to see a different vibe, a different feel, a different age group being tackled in the Scream franchise. Just give us a different feel to this thing. So that's what I'm hoping for.
Yeah, give us something fresh, something new. And again, I love a poetic story. Having Kevin Williamson again be one of the people who helped shepherd it in, obviously with Wes Craven not being here anymore. Having him and Neve kind of take this thing out, like, I think that'd be nice. And then, we can change hands with the rights. Then maybe we can start talking about reboot. I don't know. We all know that Ghostface isn't going anywhere. They're going to do something with the franchise. It's inevitable. But maybe this can be the final. Let's just officially say goodbye. But we all know with our slasher franchise that goodbye is never forever with these things. So I am excited for this. This was definitely some fun news. This is positive news. I mean, really, we're at the best point that we're going to be at with this, where the board is completely open. Anything can happen. It's all downhill from here, baby. I'm going to stay positive. But we all know that as more details roll out here, it's likely that it, in my eyes, with it being the same writers, it's probably going to be a lot safer than I think we're hoping for. But I think that's going to wrap it up here for us, guys. That's all we have for the Scream 7 news. So definitely let us know down below what you guys are thinking. Give us your fan theories. Let us know where you want to see the story go. And yeah, are you excited about Kevin Williamson coming back to direct? Is that a bad call? Or are you just ready to see the Scream franchise just completely be buried and put to rest for a few years? Because, I don't know. The fan base is definitely split. I think it's time for some healing. But at the end of the day, we'll be there to see it day one, and we'll let you know what we think. So until next time, I am Dylan Newell.
And I'm Luke Tedesco.
And remember, stay scared.
Do the horse shit, gonna do it live. Cause Splattercast kick it every day they live. Splattercast, gonna smash your ass. Splattercast, gonna smash your ass. Splattercast, gonna smash your ass. Splattercast, gonna smash your ass.